the bad angel appears to her as, his name is Aiden. I hope I get that right, Christa. And he's beautiful. And every time he appears to her, for Chrissy, who's very particular about the way she dresses, he just matches. And she's like, isn't that coincidental? We look so good standing next to each other. She's a teenager, okay? There's no romance in there. Very subtle little bit of hints, but yeah, we didn't go there. And so, but, you know, very feeling. And I will give one spoiler. There's one really intense scene in book 3 where we all know she can't invite him in. And her friends have been appointed to watch over her all the time. And of course, he went to the bathroom or something, and Hayden comes to the back door of the bakery, and he's inviting her out, and then he's trying to get in. And I tell you, I was editing that, and I told Christa my blood pressure was going up as I was editing it. It's really good. And the other thing that I had mentioned, each book continues to build on itself, and so the characters you start to know more and more of. And that's why she actually created some of those free ebook downloads, because she had had so many requests for different stories. And so the ebook downloads that are available free are side stories that are about different characters in the books. Like there's 2 musicians, angels, and they have a specific name. I can consult my angel glossary at the back, but they become a bigger part of one, and they're a really funny group because, as she said, they go in 2s, and the mentor in this one is this teenage-looking youth group leader with tattoos, and the one being mentored is this elderly gentleman. And so they're really funny characters, and they become subject of another side story that's available online. Let's see. Christa, as an editor and a writer, she is so good. She would find errors that all the proofreaders missed. So when we publish the books, it actually goes through with Christa and myself. We went through 3 edits back and forth, and I hired another macro editor to help because it's a pretty intensive series, you know. So we had 3 people working on it, and then I would go through the end, and together. This actually, she was nominated the Writer of the Year for her in Oregon or California for her local group, which you can find out more on her website before I just completely mangle all the awards that she won. Okay, she has won multiple awards for this book, and so one of the mistakes that she found that she doesn't let me live down, which is on my website. Okay. This is the final proofread. Well, 3 edits, me and Christa back and forth. From there, it's edited by 3 more people. A proofreader, a second proofreader, and a format proofreader. Okay? So there's 5 editors so far. Then they make the jacket copy. And that has to go through everybody in the department. So me, 8 other people, including the best format pre-press proofreader I've ever worked with. Completely missed on the jacket copy. I almost was going to put it up and say, can you see the error? But angels. It was angles. Oh, angles. Everybody missed it. Everybody. It's fixed. It's not on there now. Okay, we caught it. Christa caught it. Christa caught it. Christa, the author, caught it after 9 editors or so missed it. So she's that good. So from there I said, really, Christa, you ought to become a proofreader for Zondervan. And actually she has. They've hired her to do lots of editing, and now she's written some curriculum as well. And it's really exciting for me because I got to work with her when she was really starting out. And I really connected with her because we both love books. She's really witty. She's super funny. She's got 5 kids. And so we have, funny stories that are put in there. But just a part of every writer, and so it comes through. The characters are so well developed. You really start to feel for them, even when you get annoyed by Prissy, and you will, because she's annoying, because she's Prissy. And so, they just really, the way that they subtly develop throughout the series. I just asked her, how did you do this? And she said she worked on it, she conceptualized it for about 1.5 years before she started writing it. And then she wrote it for about another year. So, but she had the whole thing mapped out. And on the cover, one of the fun things that you don't think about, like as being an editor, is that part of being the editor also means coming up with the cover design and the cover concepts. And we had a hard one with this. And we had it designed, and the first one, this is not the original cover. This came to me as I was driving in the divine epiphany, and I went home right away. I was like, I've got the answer. But, okay, so this is the threshold. She's passing through to the heavenly realms. The original cover had her, if you can envision, walking out of the door. So you're looking from the heavenly realms into, as she's approaching, okay? And so, but we had to show the angels on the cover, but we didn't want to show too much of the angels. And so, I'm sorry, this is just so funny. So we have Prissy walking through the door, and in the background we just see feet hanging, okay, of the angels. We know it's angels because of the wings. But then one of the sales department, or before it was in the sales conference, said, I'm sorry, it just looks like it's the angels naked, and as she's walking out, I'm going, and then after that, you just could not look at it anymore and not see it. It was just so funny. But that wasn't the only reason we changed the cover. It was just, one of the reasons was the original girl was facing outwards. Here's an interesting thing, and you can start to notice on teen books, especially trends, you'll notice more and more that they don't show the faces. They might show the back or part of a face. And that is because if a person looks like somebody that a teenager doesn't like, they won't buy the book. That is for real. And so these are some of the concepts that go into the design ideas. So when it became evident that this series was really going to be good, and then it became more, so we worked on the cover. I was like, you know what, this needs to be a big book. So one of the fun things that you get to do is create covers using special embellishments. Like this has foil and embossing, and so that is something that is not standard, but it is more standard now. You'll see it with a lot more bigger publishers because this costs a lot of money to do. And so we had to figure out how can we budget it so we can add that embossing and add that the metallic. And so I was like, I got the font. So I've actually taught some internship classes at Grand Rapids Christian High School, and we talked about this one. And I talk about we go out and find cool covers and look at what goes into them. It's a whole field of the publishing industry that people don't know about, and it's so fun. And writers get to be a part of it if they want. Usually it's the editors or the marketers who come up with the cover ideas. Then they pitch it back to the author, and typically the author doesn't get approval, but publishers like to keep their authors happy. So it's not contractual, but if they don't like it, we're going to fix it because you're not going to promote a cover of your book you don't like. So that was kind of fun. Another reason was because the other girl in the cover was just too young. And it just made it, she just looked just young enough that we were not going to hit the target audience. And so this one, it crosses over from upper middle grade into young adult and even into adult because the story is that literate. I call it very literate because it is well written and it does build on itself.